Hello, good morning and welcome to the AM News with me, Mapisa CBD. Now, legal practitioners are urging the public to have confidence in the Supreme Court to provide justice in the latest petition filed before it by NDC's presidential candidate John Mahama. Head of Law Plus, Dennis Ajay-Doma, and Gimpa Law lecturer Justice Shrimshai Sai believe the laws of the land will be upheld to ensure a fair hearing for both sides and subsequently an objective verdict by the judges. They're reacting to the widespread perception in the public domain that justices of the Supreme Court may be biased towards the incumbent following his appointment of a majority of the judges in the apex courts. But lawyer Dennis Ajay-Doma explains why Ghanaians should have an open mind.
But some of us who work with the system trust the system that at the end of the day, justice will be delivered. People may not like it, but at the end of the day, we think that the court will look at the circumstance of it and make a determination as to who has right. And remember that in terms of court, we are there to look at the evidence, evaluate the evidence, and make a determination. And people should bear in mind that even if you might have certain challenges in your constituency, we are looking at the presidential election. So you might not have, certain constituencies went well, certain constituencies. So there's already prejudice among other people. Right. But we believe that in our democratic dispensation, we need to trust the system. After all, the petitioner was the beneficiary of the system in terms of the court making a determination in 2012. So if he strongly puts his case across, what will change in 2020? So I understand where people are coming from, but many a time, most of the people are very hardliners. If you decide to look at their idiosyncrasies, it's because they belong to a political party. But if at the end of the day, that's not strange, because in court, people lose, people win. People sometimes do not get anything that they want.
Do you mean you understand when some people say this particular government has packed the courts and that it has appointed the majority of the judges, and therefore they take it that there is no chance, opportunity for the NDC?
I disagree with those who make that submission, because the history of the court has taught, and I give a practical example. In 2012, when they went for the election petition, Justice Bafuboni was appointed by the MPP government. Justice Bafuboni looked at the facts and the evidence and determined against Nana Akufo-Addo. At the end of the day, Justice Adinyira, who was appointed by Akufo, looked at the facts and the evidence and determined it against Nana Akufo-Addo. So at the end of the day, it will depend on the issues. The history of this court, of the Supreme Court, has not taught us that when it comes to election matters, judges are zombies, and for that matter, they will look at who appointed them to make a determination when, at the end of the day, in their conscience and in terms of what they believe, might not be in line with justice. So I disagree with anybody who thinks that the court will be biased.
Be that as it may, Justice Shrimshai is urging the courts to open up the processes to beef up trust. He also spoke on the law.
I definitely am a lawyer and I believe in the system. Right. But I understand the concern that people are also raising. Being a legal, a student of the law and judicial policy, you cannot also dismiss the argument that, the claim that people are making. And I believe the judges understand that people will always doubt the outcome of their work, and they are ready for whatever will happen. What we need to do is that is why there's a need for transparency in the process, and that is why we are all calling for, because when you see what happened in court, even before the case is closed, you as an individual, if you're honest with yourself, you should be able to come to a certain decision, and you will not be, so transparency is the solution to some of these things, and not to try to dismiss the concern that people are raising. You can always dismiss it by being more transparent and being more educative. like some of the things that we are doing here. We are throwing lights, for example, the issue of extension. Someone may think that once the rule says 10 days, if you come on the 11th day, you should be dismissed. But I have explained that there may be genuine cases where the court will grant. With this understanding, someone will not say the court is being biased by giving someone an extension of one more day. So these are some of the things that we need to do to whittle down the suspicion that people have of the courts.